Hello, welcome back to the channel. Thanks for joining me in another of my monologues. I'm back on our lovely piece of heaven, our lovely piece of God's earth, and I thought I would follow up what I was talking about in the previous video, and you're going to have to excuse me. I am going to smoke my pipe and also going to blow my nose. I do have a pipe channel where I smoke my pipe regularly, if you're unaware of that. It's on something called The Vobe Show, and the pipe videos are called Him and His Pipe. And you can join me for conversations about all sorts of things whilst I smoke my pipe. But it's such a beautiful day today, and the weather is just gorgeous. There's not a cloud in the sky, and I thought I would chat to you. I know I've got some promotions that I need to put out, and I will do that in the next video, but I just wanted to take advantage of the stillness and the quiet before I get on and do some work here, now that the rain has stopped. The rain has been blighting us for some time. Today, the subject that I briefly want to touch on is taking your time, which is why I'm taking my time getting on to the subject in hand. There's a video on YouTube from the old Dave Allen series, and I was watching that briefly while I was cooking yesterday, and he had a little joke about the Irish. He's Irish, so he's able to joke at himself and the Irish themselves, and so I'm just repeating what he says. And he says that the English have a phrase, don't put off tomorrow what you can do today. And he says, the Irish have a phrase, don't put off today what you can do tomorrow. So I've messed that up. And he says, or even that you can do next week. In other words, what he was really saying is, there is no rush to get things done in Ireland. But I think that's not just true in Ireland, and of course that was a joke from the 1970s. Things would probably be very different now. But when I've travelled around places like Somerset and Devon, they sort of pride themselves that things are a bit slower here. Oh, down here things are a bit slower, see? And I always used to frustrate me. But actually, I think there's a huge amount of merit in that. And I know that when I was smoking my pipe in these videos before, one chap said, I can't watch the ones where you're smoking your pipe because you don't get to the point quick enough because you're too busy lighting the pipe. And the thing about smoking a pipe as different from cigarettes is a pipe is something you sip, you enjoy over time. It isn't something you can rush. You don't just nip down out of the building in the smoking area of a large corporate building, just try and get your nicotine hit. It's not about that. I want to talk about this slowing down because we've been conditioned, haven't we, to rush, to get things done. We're told that we must be more productive. The whole economy of the country and possibly the world, maybe not all of the world, but in the so-called civilized world, which actually you start to wonder whether the civilized world, the so-called civilized world, is that civil or civilized at all. But we're encouraged to get things done as fast as possible because it's the profit that's important, the money, making the money, and as much money as is possible. And this bothered me, this, for many, many times, although I fell in line with it all, and I do get a bit frustrated. For example, today, on the way here, it's an hour from my home, and there was a road closure. We've had so many potholes that the guys are actually doing the potholes, but they've had to close the road because this particular stretch was so bad. I'm sure that's up and down the country. And at first I was thinking, oh, I'm never going to get here. I've got so much to do, I've got to get on. And then I thought of the Dave Allen joke and the Devonshire burr and the slow down, and I thought, yes, this goes into what I was talking about yesterday about having, or the last time I did the video, about having your own piece of heaven, whatever that might be, whether that's working with your hands in a workshop making things out of wood, etc., making pipes. I have a great friend now called Chris Herriot Pipes. Check him out on YouTube, Herriot Pipes. He is a craftsman who makes pipes. If you're into smoking a pipe or you fancy it, get one of his pipes, they're great. But we're always told to be productive, aren't we? Get things done. And there lies stress. There lies a life in which you become unconscious. You become unconscious of the moment, and I spoke about being in the moment many times. And actually, slowing down, which is really the message, I suppose, of not having to chase the productive nature of trying to make as much money as possible in the quickest possible way, but actually enjoy that moment. Slowing down. Things will get done. Slow and methodical. At the moment, I've got a job of clipping a whole load of brambles because we want to put a polytunnel up in that area. And it's taking a bit of time, it's taking a lot of effort, but I keep saying to myself, well, it will get done, just take it easy, slow and methodical, and enjoy the moment. Don't get yourself stressed. Because if you constantly work on something, you'll know it's going to be done, but you don't want to wither your life away worrying and fretting. I haven't got this done in time, I've got this happening and this happening. And I think the sort of Devonshire West Country, let's say, attitude of we do things a little slower here because it's not because we're bone idle or lazy, it's because we're aware that we're alive now, not trying to get things done for a future time when that's when we'll enjoy life. We don't know if we're going to get hit by a bus or have a road traffic accident, have a heart attack, have a government insist we take a certain serum that will have an adverse effect on us. We don't know what the future holds, but we can experience life at this very moment. You hear of stories, don't you, of people who've worked for a company for 40 years. They retire, and within a month, they're dead. They just didn't know what to do with themselves. They had all these plans to go around the world and do the things they wanted to do. And once they retired, they fell ill and they die. And we hear those stories, and we do tend to put off for the future that may never come the things that we want to do. And so I think actually, coming onto the land has really taught me that actually you do things slower. We don't need to take shortcuts. We don't need to speed up. And most of all, we don't need to stress about it. That take time out, smoke your pipe, enjoy life. I mean, that's the ultimate message. Enjoy life while you're alive, not at some point in the future where you don't know whether you will be alive or not. Thank you for watching. I will talk to you soon. Take care and slow down.